TC, Spiritual Shepherd. Welcome back to the Spiritual Shepherd YouTube channel. Today we are going to be getting into self-care, self-love, self-acceptance. This is the true self-development guide of self-concept. A lot of selves in there, right? A lot of characters in there. A lot of self in there. Okay, this is capital S, self, but ultimately self-love, self-care, self-acceptance is the true self-transcendence, meaning that you transcend beyond your own ego, who you think you are. Transcending beyond that is at the peak, the pinnacle of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, a lot of us are in the self-development realms where we're like, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to make more money, I'm going to up-level my life, I'm going to up-level my physical life, I'm going to have the best relationship, I'm going to be the best version of myself, I'm going to truly develop my spirituality, I'm going to truly develop my physicality, my mentality, my emotionality, my finances. We're going to up-level this, we're going to spend as many years as possible, we're going to grind, we're going to go, okay? And yes, you can hear a little bit of the condescending in there, but there is a good part of that is necessary for your up leveling, for your self-development, I guess you could say. But a lot of it, I generally say it's 49% self-development, and then it's 51% true self-love, self-appreciation, self-acceptance, and really accepting who you are and not trying to be something that you're not, or being someone else, or being how someone else is. It's very important for us to be autonomous, to be original. Like my favorite tattoo, autonomous. Okay? It's the first tattoo I ever got. It means to tread your own path, to walk your own way. And ultimately, self-acceptance, self-transcendence, this comes from realizing that you don't have to develop anything about yourself. You're already a full, holy, holistic, whole being. You're not impartial from the image of God. You're not a fractalized version of anything. You are a complete being. You are a complete being, 111. All right. We are complete beings. We are made in completion. We're not made impartially, I guess you could say. Okay? So self-love is truly forgiving yourself. Self-acceptance is looking at all of the wrongdoings and choosing not to do them anymore. Yes, you've done them. Okay, a lot of what I talk about too is like you've already done bad. And so that is your guide to not do bad. Okay, that is, see, a lot of, I tell people you can learn from your failure. You can learn from your failure. And so that a lot of people will write a permission slip to themselves and they'll say, all right, I'm going to go fail right now. I'm going to go do some toxic stuff. Okay, but this whole thing is a realization. It's about being here in the now, being still, and then realizing you've already failed. Learn from how you've already failed. Don't go and fail and then have to learn that you failed even more. You see what I'm saying? And so the whole thing about this is we can learn from failure. We can transcend and evolve from our failure. We can evolve from fear. We can elevate from fear. Okay, we can learn so much from fear-based realities and how not to live. And how not to live. I want that to be very well heard. Okay? So, the ultimate self-concept guide is realizing that we have self-fulfilling prophecy. So, we are always right, and we are right because we want to be right. We need to be right. We have the need to be right. We have the need to have to be right. All this type of stuff that, okay, self-fulfilling prophecy means that the way that we speak to ourselves, the way that we think about ourselves, the way that we think about others, the way that we speak about others, the way that we feel about others, the way that we feel about ourselves, the way that we feel about the grand self, the capital S self, which is all 8 billion of us as one being. How we feel about that is how we will associate with it or not associate with it. Okay? So it's what we don't think, it's what we think. It's what we don't feel, it's what we feel. It's what we don't say, it's what we say. It's what we don't act as, what our habits are not, and also what we do act as and what our habits are. So that is the big cultivation. That is the big secret. Okay? And it's important to speak positively, to be in the focus of the positive and not even address anything else but the positive. To focus on the self-fulfilling prophecy because everything fulfills itself. And so as you continuously live in positivity, as you continuously live in high frequency, as you continuously live in the ultimate self-concept, okay, which is higher frequency, higher self-fulfilling prophecy, which is also the Pygmalion effect. The Pygmalion effect. Self-concept, we self-conceptualize our realities, meaning that we project our conceptualized self onto the screen of space, our belief systems onto the screen of space, okay, which means that we project our environments, we project our experience and how we feel about our experience. Our eyes are projectors, and so it will create everything around you. And a lot of people think that life is happening to them when life is happening for them, but that's also because the self-concept, the belief system, the permission slips that you've written over our lives of our programming or how it was programmed for us. That's a big thing too. Whether it's familial, whether it's generational. Remember, you have thousands of people inside of you. You have thousands of old generations inside of you, of ancestors per se. Okay, and they also had a specific interconnection with the Most High, with the Most High vibration, with the Most High God. Okay, and so from there, we also will conceptualize who we think we are and who we think we're not. And we can transform how we think we are and how we think we're not. Who we think we are, who we think we're not. Okay? And you can go who, what, when, where, why, how. You can do all that. That is contemplation. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Okay? That is like one of my favorite channelings, that you can ultimately start to channel who you really want to be and be it now. Who you really want to be. How you really want to act. Where you really want to go. How you really want to act. Okay? There's so many different types of things. Self-concept is based on self-fulfilling prophecy. It's based on the placebo effect. So there have been people who have been given a sugar pill. They actually had like problems with their body. Like people had eczema and like a bunch of stuff. They were given a sugar pill. Okay? And they believed that this thing was going to heal them. And then therefore they went back 8 weeks later. No symptoms, no expression of eczema, no expression of this type of thing, because they had conceptualized within their own brain. Remember, it's just a sugar pill. There's like nothing in it. There's no like, so it's based on how we conceptualize our realities. They truly believe, oh, this is going to work. This is going to transform my life. This is going to evolve my life. This is going to elevate my life. This is going to heal me. Okay? And so then they therefore did that. And that is based on our choices. That is based on our material beliefs and our spiritual beliefs. Okay? And how we can materialize things based on our spirituality, and how we can spiritualize things based on our materiality. Okay? That's really what it is. And then obviously the mind and the emotion is interconnected with that. Okay? So self-acceptance. Now, a lot of us are in that self-development. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to do all these different things. I'm going to be good. I'm going to do all this type of stuff, which is fantastic. Like I said, that's 49%. Okay? On the 51% of the spectrum, it's acceptance. It's self-acceptance. And then there's levels of acceptance. There's transformation of acceptance. There's evolution and elevation of acceptance. Accepting who you were. Accepting the drug addict that you were. Accepting the alcoholic that you were. I'm not saying that you have to continue to be it, but you accept that being for who they were. For how delusional and misaligned they were. How shadow version of you they were. Okay? You forgive your old self. You forgive old versions of you. You forgive other people. You love other people. You have compassion on them. You have empathy on them. You have empathy on yourself. You have compassion on yourself. And sometimes this is a very isolated, autonomous, original, alone thing. And I'm not saying that it's lonely or anything. It's an individualistic thing, because we've all been through different things. And so it's all based on, like self. It's based on self. It's not necessarily like, you don't have to tell that person that you forgive them. You just have to forgive them in your mind. You don't have to tell other people, I accept you now. Like, you just have to do it. Just do it internally. That's really what it is. Self-love. It's loving and love. Compassion is the byproduct of love. And so as we start to have compassion and empathy on ourselves, who we are now, what our belief systems were, our programming, the way that we speak to ourselves, the way that we think about ourselves, the way we think about others, the way we judge others, the way we judge ourselves, the way we emotionally feel about others, the way that we emotionally feel about ourselves or don't feel about ourselves, all these different things that are interconnected with our own self-conceptualization and how we project that onto our experiences and our environments. The environments that we go to, the environments we don't go to, how we think they program us, how we program ourselves to them. All this stuff is interconnected with our self-love. And as we have compassion on just existing, we don't want things we don't have to want things as much. We are just in a state of being. We're in a state of gratitude. I mean, think about it. Does God need to eat? Does God need to eat? Because if God needed to eat, here's the thing. If God needed to eat, then he wouldn't be all powerful. He would need that food to empower him. There is a lack of sense of self while eating and drinking. And this is biblical because the Son of Man and the Son of God came onto the earth eating and drinking, but left the earth not eating and drinking. He was a breatharian when he left, but he came in eating and drinking. Think about the transformation of that. There's an elevation. There's an evolution. There is a spiritual upheaval. There's a spiritual up-leveling to this. That's all I'm going to leave you guys with. Ultimately, it's about accepting ourselves. It's about caring for ourselves. There is the self-development aspect, but there's truly the self-acceptance, the self-compassion, the self-love, the self-care, doing the things that you know are good for you and really being in a sense of being and doing more of those practices, those spiritual practices, those spiritual forgiveness, practices. It's way easier to do that and then transcend and then move that into habits and actions than to try to do it the other way. Peace, much love, namaste. Talk to you guys soon. If you guys want to do personal coaching or consciousness coaching, you guys can find that in the description below. Just fill out that form. As well as if you want to make money, fill out that form as well. I can teach you how to trade $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. And here's one big thing. You can up-level it to $5 million. If you want me to trade it for you, we also do that. If you want me to run your account, we also do that. There's so many different ways to make money.